My name is Caleb, and after 18 months deployed overseas as a Marine, coming home should have been the best day of my life. Instead, I found a stranger standing on my family's front porch like he owned the place. "Can I help you?" the man asked, looking me up and down with obvious suspicion. I dropped my duffel bag. "I live here. Who are you?" "Derek Preston," he crossed his arms. "I'm the new property manager your mother hired." "Property manager?" I pushed past him and found my mom in the kitchen, looking thinner and more tired than I'd ever seen her. "Mom, what's going on?" She hugged me tight, and I felt her trembling. "Caleb, thank God you're home." "Linda, we discussed this," Derek said from the doorway. "No visitors without my approval." I turned slowly. "Visitors? This is my house." "Actually, it's complicated," Derek said smoothly. "Your mother signed some papers while you were away. I've been managing the property to help with her debts." "What debts?" I looked at my mom. "Dad left this place free and clear." Mom's eyes filled with tears. "He said we owed back taxes. He said they'd take the house if we didn't." "I saved this family from foreclosure," Derek interrupted. "You should be grateful." "Show me the paperwork," I demanded. Derek smirked. "It's all legal, filed with the county. Your mother signed over management rights to settle the debt." "How much debt?" $80,000. I felt my blood run cold. "That's impossible." "Well, it's real," Derek said. "And until it's paid, I make the decisions around here. Speaking of which, I'm converting the main house to a rental property. Your mother will be moving to the barn." "The barn?" I stepped toward him. "Are you insane?" "It's quite comfortable," Derek said. "I've already had it cleaned out. She can move her things this weekend." Mom grabbed my arm. "Caleb, please, don't make trouble. He says if I don't cooperate, he'll—" "He'll what?" I demanded. Derek smiled coldly. "I'll exercise my legal right to foreclose and sell the entire property to recover my investment. Your mother will have nothing." "Get out," I said quietly. "Excuse me?" "I said get out of my house. Now." Derek laughed. "Or what? You'll assault me? Go ahead, Marine. Add a criminal record to your family's problems. I'm sure the VA will love that." He walked toward the door, then paused. "You have until Friday to remove your belongings from the barn. After that, I'm renting it out too. Maybe you can sleep in the shed." After he left, Mom collapsed into a chair. "I'm so sorry, Caleb. I didn't know what else to do." "Tell me everything," I said. The next morning, I sat in attorney Sarah Mitchell's office with a stack of documents Mom had given me. "This is fraud," Sarah said immediately, flipping through the papers. "Pure and simple." "Can you prove it?" I asked. "Look at this signature." She held up a document. "This isn't your mother's handwriting. And this debt he claims? There's no record of it with the county tax office." I leaned forward. "So he made it all up?" "It appears so." Sarah pulled out her phone. "I have a friend at the county clerk's office. Let me make a call." While she talked, I texted my buddy Jake Morrison, who worked as a private investigator since leaving the service. Jake called back within minutes. "Brother, what do you need?" "Full background check on a guy named Derek Preston," I said, "and I need it fast." "Give me 24 hours. Sarah hung up her phone. "Good news. My contact checked the records. No tax liens, no outstanding debts on your property. Whatever papers Derek filed were never properly notarized or verified." "So they're worthless?" "Legally, yes, but he's counting on your mother not knowing that." Sarah made notes on her legal pad. "He's probably done this before. Targets elderly homeowners, creates fake debt, files fraudulent documents, then forces them out." My phone buzzed. Jake had sent a preliminary report. I read it aloud. Derek Preston, 3 previous addresses in 3 different states. 2 civil suits for fraud, both settled out of court. Currently under investigation in Ohio for elder financial exploitation. Perfect, Sarah said. Here's what we're going to do. I'll file an emergency motion to invalidate his claim, but I need you to get him on record admitting what he's done. How? She smiled. You're going to wear a wire and have a very honest conversation with Mr. Preston. 2 days later, I showed up at the house with a small recording device hidden under my jacket. Derek answered the door. What do you want, Caleb? To talk business, I said. Can I come in? He hesitated, then stepped aside. Make it quick. I sat on the couch. My couch. I've been thinking about what you said, about my options. Smart move, Derek said. Acceptance is the first step. Here's the thing, I continued. I don't have 80 grand, but I do have combat pay saved up, about 40,000. Derek's eyes lit up. Go on. What if I pay you 40,000 cash and you tear up those papers? Walk away clean. 50,000, Derek countered immediately, and you have 3 days. Deal, I said, but I need to see the original documents, proof that you'll actually cancel the debt. Derek laughed. You think I'm stupid? Those documents are my insurance policy. Insurance against what? Against people like you figuring out their bullshit, he said, then caught himself. I mean, they're legitimate, but you forged my mother's signature? His expression hardened. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, Derek, we're negotiating here. I need to know what I'm really paying for. He stood up. You're paying for me to go away and not make your mother's life hell. That's what you're paying for. By filing fake documents? They're filed with the county, he said defensively. That makes them official. Even if the signatures are forged? Even if the debt doesn't exist? Derek's face went red. Get out. Gladly, I stood. Oh, and Derek? You might want to check your property manager insurance. I hear fraud claims can get expensive. I walked out, knowing I had everything we needed. The next morning, Sarah filed our motion in court along with Jake's investigation report and my recording. Derek called my phone 30 times before I finally answered. You recorded me? He screamed. That's illegal. Actually, this is a one-party consent state, I said calmly. Perfectly legal. I'll sue you for everything. With what? I asked. Your fake debt claim? Oh, wait. The judge already invalidated that this morning. Turns out filing fraudulent documents is a crime. I could hear him breathing heavily. We can work this out. No, we can't. Caleb, listen. I'll walk away. No harm, no foul. Just drop the case. Not happening, I said. You terrorized my mother. You tried to steal our home. Now you're going to face the consequences. You don't understand, Derek said, and I could hear panic in his voice. I have investors, people who will come after me if this falls apart. Should have thought of that before you became a con artist. He hung up. That afternoon, Sarah called with an update. The county prosecutor wants to meet with you. Derek's not the only victim. They've found 6 other families he's scammed. Good, I said. They're offering him a deal if he cooperates, Sarah warned. He might only get probation. What about our property? Completely clear. The judge voided every document he filed. He has to return any money he took from your mother and pay her legal fees. 2 days later, we met at Sarah's office for the settlement conference. Derek walked in looking like he'd aged 10 years. His lawyer, a tired-looking man named Brian Cooper, carried a thick briefcase. Let's get this over with, Derek muttered. Sarah slid papers across the table. Full restitution to the Hart family, $12,000 for money taken, plus $15,000 for emotional distress and legal fees. That's robbery, Derek protested. No, I said. Robbery is what you tried to do to us. His lawyer put a hand on his arm. Derek, take the deal. The alternative is criminal charges. I don't have $27,000, Derek said. Then you'd better find it, Sarah replied. You have 30 days. Derek looked at me with pure hatred. This isn't over. Yes, it is, I said. And if you ever come near my family again, that recording goes straight to the police. The prosecutor was very interested in your other victims. 4 weeks later, we gathered at Sarah's office for the final settlement meeting. Derek slumped in his chair, looking defeated. His lawyer set down a cashier's check. $27,000, Brian said. Full restitution as agreed. Sarah examined the check. And the quitclaim deed? Derek signed it wordlessly and pushed it across the table. Is that it? I asked. Not quite, Sarah said. She turned to Derek. My client has prepared a statement for the county fraud investigation. Would you like to hear it? Derek's head snapped up. You said if I paid... We said we wouldn't press additional civil charges, Sarah corrected. We said nothing about criminal cooperation. Brian leaned over to whisper to Derek, who shook his head violently. Don't do this, Derek said to me directly. Please, I paid you back. Isn't that enough? You asked my mother if she could sleep in her own barn, I said, on property her husband built, where she raised me. I was just trying to make money, Derek pleaded. I didn't mean... You meant every word, I interrupted. You targeted a woman whose son was deployed overseas because you thought she was vulnerable.
Sarah pulled out a folder. For the record, Mr. Preston, how many other families have you defrauded using this scheme?
I'm not answering that, Derek said. The prosecutor already has 6 cases, she continued. They're very interested in establishing a pattern. Derek turned to his lawyer desperately. Do something! Brian sighed. There's nothing I can do. You're facing fraud charges regardless of this settlement. Wait, Derek said. What if I cooperate? What if I give them everything? That's between you and the DA, Sarah said. Derek stood up abruptly. This is insane. I gave you your money back. Sit down, Derek, his lawyer said wearily. Caleb, please, Derek tried again. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I threatened your mother. I was wrong. I looked at him coldly. You're sorry you got caught. No, I'm genuinely... Save it, I said. You don't get to apologize your way out of this. Sarah gathered the documents. We're done here. Mr. Preston, I suggest you hire a criminal attorney. The DA's office will be in touch. After Derek and his lawyer left, Mom came in from the waiting room where she'd been sitting. Is it really over? She asked. Sarah handed her the check. It's over, Linda. Your property is yours again, free and clear. Mom started crying. Thank you. Thank you both so much. Thank Caleb, Sarah said. He's the one who put this together. My phone rang. It was Jake. Brother, you're going to want to hear this. What's up? Derek's investors? They weren't investors. They were loan sharks. Turns out he owes them about 60 grand. They're not happy about his legal problems. Not my problem, I said. Here's the thing, Jake continued. They just filed a lawsuit against him. He's going to lose everything. His car, his apartment, probably end up bankrupt. I smiled. Good. Sarah overheard and grinned. Karma works fast. Mom looked confused. What's happening? Derek's about to lose everything he scammed from everyone, I explained. The people he borrowed money from are coming after him now. Oh my, Mom said softly. A week later, Sarah called with an update. The DA charged Derek with 6 counts of elder fraud. He's looking at 5 to 10 years if convicted. Will he go to trial? His lawyer says he wants to plead out, Sarah said. But even with a plea deal, he's probably looking at 3 years minimum, plus restitution to all his victims. How much? About $200,000 total. He'll be paying it off for the rest of his life. That weekend, Mom and I sat on our porch, watching the sunset. I can't believe it's really over, she said. It is, I assured her. He can't hurt us anymore. When he asked if we could sleep in the barn, Mom trailed off. I felt so small, so helpless. You're not helpless, I said, and this is your home. Always has been, always will be. She squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you, Caleb. Your father would be too. I thought about Derek, probably sitting in some cheap apartment, drowning in debt and legal problems, facing years in prison. I thought about how he'd tried to take everything from us, and I thought about how completely he'd lost. Justice isn't revenge. Revenge is personal, emotional, destructive. Justice is strategic, legal, and permanent. Derek didn't just lose our property, he lost everything. And we got our home back, stronger than ever. Have you ever had someone try to take advantage of your family while you were away? Sometimes the best revenge is just letting the legal system do its job. Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.